Good morning. Um, Today is going to be one of those sort of marketing and making a living from writing gaming stuff, videos. So I think it was last week or might have been the week before. I was talking about banner ads and how how I've seen them used quite effectively. Now I was on the drive-through site earlier, and now, I know Jason that creates Heroes and Hardships, but this is it's a perfect example of what I was talking about. It's the banner ads are being used to drive interest in the free quick start. There is no direct immediate earnings from this, but when Heroes and Hardships comes out for real, um, what this is doing is it's building up Earl of Fife. That's the publisher. Um, it is building up their mailing list. So this is Heroes and Hardships, the quick start. I've done another video about this in the past. You can look back on my channel for the Heroes and Hardships quick look, first look. So because I've already bought this, you can see the see what I've got here. I've got 5 versions of the quick starts, right up to the newest one. It's pay what you want, so there's always a chance that Earl of Fife will get some money from it, but it's a great looking game. So this those banners, I'm not sure if it'll show me the same banner again. Um, no, on to Rifts now. But that banner, this is another example actually. It's a big chunk of screen space you're getting. And if people are down here to look at the newest free and pay what you want, then having a banner for something free immediately below it, I think it's probably more effective than we give it credit for. If you go on any of the creators' forums, Discords, they all say that banners don't work. And I think they don't work if you're trying to sell something. Because down here, my entire screen here is filled with free. Well, if that was for a free, if that was a free banner, the newest free and pay what you want, I think that is the free end of the market. That's where your banner would appear. That's a sort of screen space you get, and it can then drive interest. You can get the downloads, you can get the mailing list contacts, which means you can then reach out and do something with it. Now, I do know Jason from Discord, and I will ask him in a month's time how well that's worked to get you some more information. I said I was going to try and get do this for myself. I got a D&D clone, a retro clone called Bath, Brave Adventurers and Roguish Fools. I have not had time to get that ready. It wasn't as ready as I thought it was. There's a lot to lay out, and I've got so much else in my production queue at the moment. I've not been able to do it myself yet. But now I know someone that is doing it already, I will try and get you some hard data on it. You know, the guys at Earl of Fife are really, really good. Go and have a look at the Heroes and Hardships video, and you'll see that it's a great little game. Definitely worth picking up. What I really wanted to talk about this week was social media. Um, the first thing I would seriously recommend if you want to get into selling selling games, is get your social media accounts set up and get active on whatever platforms you feel comfortable with. If your game is written and then you're looking at setting up the social media side of it in advance, I think you've left it too late, which is one of the mistakes I made. I'm not a huge fan of social media in any shape or form. Um, I barely use Facebook. I use it for Messenger, and that's about it. Um, I do have a Twitter account, and I only really started using it at the beginning of uh, probably December 2019. Um, Now, the problem I have with Twitter is now this is my notifications page in Twitter. The kind of people that are interacting with me, like Solo RPG, he is doing pretty much the same sort of thing I have. He's got his own patron going on here. He's creating his own products. Um, Here he's a journeyman. He's a writer for hire, I believe. Andy Simons, um, wannabe illustrator. Solo RPG again. You've got there. Emma is she is selling. She's got a Zazzle store, Amazon. Um, so what you got there? Not entirely sure. Well, yeah, actually, that's sort of game services at scale. Um, I think that might actually be a genuine player RPG designer. Um, what's Florence doing? Writer, painter. Don't know. The one that's trying to get across actually is again, it's another author. Most of the people that are interacting with me on Twitter are other game designers, other writers, other indie people. It's becoming a closed loop. The number of actual people that play using my books is very, very small. There is one down here recently. It's not actually that recently, obviously. Oh no, here you go. July 27th. What was it? 3 or 4 days ago. Um, is that a yeah? It's probably a genuine customer, genuine real person, but they are few and far between. The Most of the people following me are other industry insiders. People wanting to get going, people that are going, lots of people are far more successful than I am. But if you're using social media to try as a marketing tool to reach out to new people, Twitter's, for me, certainly, it's not doing it. Um, you're probably better off with, say, Facebook, which then has you can do sort of targeted post boosting. So if your game was, let's say, if I was going to use Brave Adventurers and Roguish Fools, I could target people that like D&D because that's one of the targeting options. And then I am boosting a post into the timelines of people that have got an interest in the kind of game I'm trying to sell or give away or whatever. Um, with Twitter, you can boost posts and you can do promoted tweets and the like, but they are far more expensive and all by all accounts, far less effective. Uh, you need a big budget, whereas you can boost a post for, 10, £15 or dollars. If you don't get into boosting, then Facebook will throw free credit at you on an almost daily basis. They want to hook you onto getting boosted posts. So anything that isn't boosted feels like it's fallen flat slightly because you're not getting the same numbers. Now, there are a lot of social media platforms. Um, Now, I started uh, getting into Twitter, say December. It says I joined in August 2017. That was then basically a fairly inactive account. I started working with uh, trying to build my following and really interacting with people in about December 2019. Since then, I've managed to build up 560 followers. Um, so, but the sort of thing I'm tweeting out it is more to do with well, lots of it is blog posts, um, but yeah, I'm trying to interact with people. Is this the tweets? Tweets and replies. Um, Actually, you probably know perfectly well how Twitter works, but uh, yeah, genuinely interacting with people, you'll probably find some fairly odd photos in here. If you look at the media, there's a media section, isn't it? Because I am interacting, there's horses, cows, puffins. It's some dogs. It's the more personal tweets you're putting out, the more people are likely to respond to you. So it's worth sharing, a little bit. This is Heckler the horse, and that's Heckler the volcano. Um, People respond to a personal connection. Um, and one of the advantages of video, obviously you're watching the video, is if you can put a face and a voice to a message, it carries far more meaning. What works for you will be unique to you, and it'll work for you because you enjoy doing it. If you don't enjoy you if you don't enjoy Facebook, then it will come across that you're just going through the motions. If you don't enjoy Twitter, it will come across you won't find the time to just interact with people for just because. Uh, there are so many networks to choose from. Um, you don't need to reach everyone. You only need to reach a fraction of a percentage of the total users on any network before you are dealing with tens of thousands of people. Uh, it is, I think it's something like 6 degrees of separation, isn't it, between everyone? You know, some of these tweets, when I go into the analytics, they are retweeted and retweeted, and they literally reach thousands of people. But I get sort of one sale a month, 5 visits, on to a blog post. Each blog post that gets tweeted out generates 5 to 14 visits off of Twitter. It's a very very small amount. Um, Whether it justifies the time, I don't know. But there are no, it does justify the time. But I've it justifies the time because I've created and built up relationships with other creators and done collaborative work through connections I've made from Twitter. And in that way, I've probably earned more money than I have from direct sales. It's not a place to put out adverts. Um, it's a place to build the relationships, which then lead to better things. Um, Really, it's the social in the social media. That's the important bit. Um, One second, there we go. So you pick the networks that work for you. Um, Use it in the best way that works for you. Experiment, do different things, but set up your account as early as you possibly can. Waiting until you've actually got something you need to share is too late to start looking for people to share it with. And also with your social media accounts, build them up fast, long before you try any kind of Kickstarter. Because if you don't have an audience to tell about your Kickstarter, then you've got no one to bring in that money. You need you know, thousands of people to reach out to spread the word. Uh, for a Kickstarter, you want to get funded in 24 hours. If it doesn't go in 24 hours, then it's highly likely that it's not going to happen at all. So yeah, it's less advice and more imploring actually. If you're going to use social media, and I think you have to, then get set up early and use the ones that feel natural for you, and build on it. Play to your strengths, and that's all I've really got to say about social media. Okay, so that's it this time. And I finally got a haircut after 4 months, and it feels so much better. This is what I'm meant to look like, not that hairy thing you normally see. Okay, that's it for this week.